One of the things we learn when we're with God is that when we don't have the answer, God comes through with the answer. Amen? This morning, I need to talk to you all for a few minutes about, I want to share a little bit about where we are financially. And two things can happen when you finish this talk and that I don't want to have happen. I don't want you to feel any kind of guilt about what's going on, that this is not, God doesn't work in guilt. And secondly, I don't want you to start judging anybody else for what they do as we talk. If you look in your bulletin or on or online bulletin, you'll see that our giving has fallen way behind what we anticipated for the year. And in particular, the last 2 months, we have a $40,000 deficit in giving, and in the last 2 months, $20,000 of that happened. So it's kind of been like a snowball as far as the way giving goes. Now, so much so that at the end of August, our financial reports show that we are what I call $30,000 in arrears. That does not mean we do not have money. What it means is that we have no money to operate on. We have money in the bank, but it has designated purpose, and we need to get back on task. And now, to clarify that, at the end of August, a couple things happened. We have a mortgage payment that we've been making ever since this building was built, and we've refinanced a couple times, but we're $4,000 ahead in our giving on our mortgage payment, which is really a pretty good thing. We started that years ago, that we gave a little extra along the way, and so there's $4,000 of that is there. Another couple $1,000 is in what is in a designated fund that the money was used out of our regular operating fund and then has been moved over. And then August is always our difficult month because our school has been out for the summer, and they just kind of in between classes, and so we have payroll but no students. So it's a planned deficit for that. On top of that, different things have happened along the way. The bottom line is, I believe that we're going to be okay by the end of the year, but at the projection that I see happening right now, we are not going to be able to pay our apportionments 100%. And it'll be only the second time in my career that that's happened. The first time was my first year here, and we paid 96% everywhere else we have. And what that is that's our tithe back to the church, and the way we make a difference in our country, and in our general church all over the world. With the way the United Methodist Church works is that our apportionments help to support all the ministries all around the world. And so that's my biggest concern. But and you could say, well, where are we spending the money? What? You can start pointing your finger, but the bottom line is our giving is down. Our giving is down. Now, when these things happen, Michelle and I, my wife and I, tithe. And in the past, when we were hurting as a church, we took money out of our savings to help the cause. Big money along the way. But now I have one child in college, another on the way next fall, and we have 2 sets of braces in our family on teeth that we've gone through as well. So we can't do as much. But I talked to her in the middle of the night. I have to tell you, I have struggled with this. This is an emotional thing for me. And I struggled, and about, 3 in the morning, I said, Michelle, can we give $100 each month until this is resolved? And so we're on top of our normal tithe, which is pretty significant. We're going to be able to give a little bit more. And we wanted to be one of the first to give sacrificially. Henry Nouwen pointed out in a book I just read last night, 3 Meditations on Christian Life, that God offers us grace in partnership. When we step towards Jesus, Jesus runs towards us, much like the prodigal's father. And so this is a problem that we're talking about today. He uses I'd never seen this before, but he uses the feeding of 5,000 and talks about it this way. He says the feeding of 5,000 started with food that came from the people. Jesus said, go out and find what is available. And so therein, he shows how Jesus uses a partnership. So we found 5 loaves and 2 fishes, and 5,000 people were fed. You see, when we step towards Jesus, Jesus does things in a remarkable way. And I believe that's what's going to happen again. We're going to make some changes in the way we operate, but I am proud of the way we spend our money. I am proud of what we do as a church. We are just in a difficult time. So I'm asking you to consider partnering with Jesus and see the miraculous way Jesus takes that and runs with it. I'm asking you to step forward with Michelle and I and several others as we step forward. If you already tithe, thank you very much for that, and maybe you would consider a sacrificial gift. If you haven't yet reached that tithing level, I want to encourage you to just see what God does with that. Now again, I believe that we have this wonderful partnership with God. And that's what's happened over the last 12 years. We were in a mess 12 years ago, and we don't know how we got out of that mess other than we just partnered with God. And look where we've come in 12 years and what we have. So this is hard for me to say, but we're in a tough spot. And I can't carry that alone, nor does God want me to carry it alone. And we have, one of the things that we are good about, if you're visiting with us for the first time, is we are honest and authentic. Amen? And so I come to share that with you, not so you would worry with me, but whether you would turn towards God and take a step forward and see where He takes us. Amen? Thank you all so much.